cool.
I'm just going to hit the record button now so I don't forget and shit.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. So thanks for coming on the podcast, Tyler from Subjective Reviews. I'm sure some people have seen your stuff.
Yeah, I'm slowly building a fan base.
I've seen some of your videos. Very good stuff.
I appreciate that.
If everybody wants to stay up to date, I just highly suggest subscribing to you. You're all over the Snyder Cut stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because when I first started like getting into this shit, like I was like, you were like one of the guys I first started listening to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like when the whole Snyder Cut thing started becoming a thing, it was like you and like Chris Wong Swenson and maybe like Film Junkie. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Me and Chris Wong are pretty opposites when it comes to talking about this stuff.
As far as this movement's going right now, I mean, dude, like every single day, like someone, like it's just all over the place. Like 1 second this person's on this side, the next it's just like it's crazy. But
yeah, I mean, people love to make up sides on this.
Yeah, no, it was all good. It was all like everything was cool. I felt like we were all on the same side for a long time. We just wanted to get this movie released. And then it all kind of came in ahead with that 40 Club shit that just started going down.
I know. I mean, it's funny because people keep saying everybody's in this 40 Club. Like, most of them don't even talk to each other. Like, so it's pretty wild, you know?
I mean, it's kind of a small club. There's like 3 guys they always talk about. But I think that the thing about the whole 40 Club situation and what everyone needs to understand is I try to see both sides of everything. And what they need to understand is that we all want this movie to get released.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people were like, oh, you know, you're against Zack and all this bullshit. It's like, no, like they have their theories. They can think whatever they want. But at the end of the day, we all want this movie released. And that's just what it is. We're all on the same side. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think what was the last thing we were doing? I think the 23rd was like the 2/14 day. And I pointed out that it's probably not going to trend as high as people think because we keep if we're all talking about it at different hours, it's just not going to, they're not going to catch the trending thing.
And I saw that you were getting beat up over that, right?
Yeah, I know.
and let me tell you, I was on your side. When they came out and they said that we're going to do this thing and, at 2/14, everyone's different times. We're going to say whatever, release the Snyder Cut. And I was like, but why? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've gotten to a point where we've done this before. We've put out the money. We've done the tweeting. Obviously, November 17th, we tweeted our asses off. It's like, we have been heard. They know that we're here. And I was like, what is this for? And their simple answer was, oh, it's just to make some more noise. And I'm like, oh, I'm down for that. I'm going to do it. But I'm just like, but why? And the thing is, they told everyone there was no reason. And I think there was a reason. And that's what pisses me off. Because obviously you saw that we tweeted out that day and then Zack drops the shirts and everything. It's like, okay, like you guys should have told us like, yeah, you might want to be loud today, because they knew something was up. They were even coming out and be like, yo, you guys have to tweet today. And it's like, but why?
And they're like,
oh, no reason.
Yeah.
What's that?
Because Zack was always going to put out that sweater. He was always going to have a special, thing for that day.
Exactly. And I don't know why that day they all of a sudden they had to be like, oh no, just do it. Just do it. There's nothing happened. Just do it. Like, okay, like I'll do it, but
right.
Yeah.
But I think the reason it went so viral that November 17th is because we all were like in the same time window. It was like the same 4-hour span that we were all like going crazy on it.
Oh yeah.
And once it gets to a certain threshold, everybody else in the world will start catching on. And actually, since that day, it hasn't really – the trends haven't gotten nearly that high. That was the biggest spike it's ever been. It got higher than Justice League on its opening day. So
wow.
It was gigantic. And it definitely changed things. I think at that point, Warner Brothers actually took it seriously. They're like, all right, the people can get interested real quick. And they probably told Zack they were going to release it. Because I can't imagine why Zack would keep putting out these pictures like almost every day now.
Yeah.
And a new sweater and everything for suicide prevention, all that. There's no reason he would do it unless something's happening. He's trying to keep the train going here.
Yeah, and I'm going to further expand. Well, not further expand, but I put it in my video that I made for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Something that I didn't even realize this until Film Junkie said something about the whole sweatshirt thing was the fact that he branded it.
Yeah.
Like that is huge. Like that, you know what I mean? Like he branded it. It's Zack Snyder's Justice League, the logo and everything. Like this is what happens before a movie comes out.
Mhm.
The merchandise comes out, the shirts and everything. So it's like we are going to see this movie. There is no, if anymore. It's just a matter of when, which is very exciting. So
And we can actually talk about that a little bit because I talked about this with the comic movie marks. I don't know if you know them. They're good friends of the channel, and I was talking to them about how they have to get this movie released before Army of the Dead because who knows what's going to happen when that comes out and how the media is going to react to that and how bloggers and stuff are going to react to that movie because they always trash Zack Snyder no matter what. So we need as much good momentum behind Zack Snyder as possible before the Snyder Cut comes out.
Yeah.
And I feel like the window is like the next 6 months. I mean, if we don't hear an announcement within the next 6 months or anything from Warner Brothers on this, then we're probably waiting a long time. I'm thinking like a decade, like long time.
Well, let me expand on that a little bit because I also say this in my next video. But like I said, we've done everything that we possibly could do. You know what I mean? As far as being loud, we've done everything, the money, everything. So my thing is, okay, we were thinking that possibly Zach would announce it on Christmas yesterday.
Mm.
He didn't do that. No. I thought, and there was like this big like 2:14 time thing where it was like, oh, it didn't happen. So my next thing is New Year's Day. Next Wednesday, New Year's Day. That's the next time that Zach, I believe, has a chance to release it. Now, if he doesn't, I don't think we're going to hear anything for a couple months. Mm. And because I think they want to build it up, and then maybe in like, I don't know, March or something like that, or April, like they're like literally going to come out and say, oh, the movie's coming out next month in theaters or whatever, HBO Max, whatever they decide to do. And I think because they just want to build that hype, they want to, like build that momentum up. So, but even that pisses me off because I'm like, if you come out now and you say that the movie's coming out, it's still going to build up momentum, and that gives more people time to realize it's coming out.
Exactly.
Instead of just being like, oh yeah, it's coming out in 3 weeks. Like what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's awesome, but like it doesn't matter if you say it's coming out now or you say it's coming out in 3 months. Like it's.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably going to be the big spike, right? Like just like the November 17th spike when everybody's searching release the Snyder Cut. The next time that happens is when they do announce it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when they announce it, everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck's the Snyder Cut?" And it's gonna be a huge trend again, Like
yeah, exactly.
But that's gotta happen first. And Warner Brothers is like yet to even fucking talk about it, like in any extent. So I hope it happens sooner rather than later, right?
And you know what? I had a crazy theory about that today as well, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Warner Brothers hasn't said shit. Obviously, we know that they haven't said a word. And I'm thinking that maybe they worked it out with Zach to where it's like, Zach, you were in complete control of this. Like, it's your movie. When you want to say it's getting released, it's getting released. When you want to drop the trailer, you can drop the trailer. And maybe Warner Brothers just doesn't say shit about it. And obviously, they're going to get the money. They're attached to it. But I'm thinking that, Zach on his Vero, whatever, he'll come out and say, this is when it's getting released. And Warner Brothers won't say a word. Now, I think that's really bad for them because, obviously they need to say something too to get more money. Yeah. That's why I feel like they will. But it wouldn't surprise me if you don't hear a peep from them. The movie comes out and they just get their money.
Right. Which would be surprising because, I mean, it would add a lot of legitimacy if they did just like come out and say in some press statement, like, oh, and this is coming out,
Yeah.
But literally, just in the last 2 days, Zack Snyder's dropped like 8 pictures.
Oh yeah, he's on a tear, man. I mean, it used to be like every couple weeks or every couple months maybe, and now it's just like every day you feel like something's going to happen. And they were thinking that because he was doing that Excalibur stuff, the quotes or whatever, people were thinking that he was going to do one every single day because the lines were adding up to it being to like the New Year or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he just dropped like 4 yesterday, and he's like, oh, no, that's not the case. It's like whatever he sees online, people saying he's going to do. He's like, I'm not doing that now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like people are kind of like undercutting everything he's doing by guessing what he's going to do.
Yeah.
So he has to get out ahead of everybody, right?
Yeah. I mean, it has been a fun ride, though. I will say that. I mean, like this has never happened before.
I know. It's unprecedented. Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy, and I would not be surprised if this movie made $1 billion, a director's cut. Well, I can't even call it like a director's cut. because it really isn't. Like, it's a completely different movie. But if this, when this movie comes out, like, it's gonna make a lot of money because everyone knows the diehards are gonna see it, the Marvel fans are gonna see it because they want to shit on it, all the critics are gonna see it because they want to shit on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna make a lot of money.
Oh yeah. I'd be surprised if they actually put it in theaters, but like,
Yeah, would you? Do you feel that? Are you?
I feel like it would be like a limited release type thing. I don't know if they'd
Mhm.
actually, because it takes money to do a whole theatrical run. Like we're talking like
Yeah.
another 50+ million to do that.
Okay.
But like if they did like an actual like limited release like they did with the Ultimate Edition of BVS, where like I think had a weekend in theaters. That way, all us
Yeah.
fans that have been clamoring for it for like 2 years, we could sell out the theaters for a weekend, and then it
Yeah.
would be like this hype, like, oh, everyone check out this new movie that we have on Blu-ray and HBO Max.
Yeah.
That's what I would hope would happen.
I
Yeah.
for a while I thought that obviously the HBO Max would be the right choice because it's there's no money involved. You just put it on the streaming service.
Yeah.
But as I've been growing this channel and everything, and I've been talking to a lot of people that are from other countries and everything,
Yeah, they won't.
they're like, yeah, we won't get it. So I was like, oh shit, I never even thought about that. So now I'm like, I feel like it would be smarter to do a theatrical release because then they can get that money for those international markets because they're not going to get that money from HBO Max to start off with.
Yeah.
So I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if they did release it in the movie theaters because you know what, it's guaranteed to at least make $50 million. Like that's not even a question.
Yeah,
so they're gonna make
money.
yeah. So the movie is like already made. So you're not putting any money towards that. You're doing the free promotions. You know what I mean? They haven't done any marketing for it, so they're not spending any money on that. They put it out in the movie theaters. If they have to spend the $50 million, like you said, they'll make all that back and more. So that's why I feel like they should. I feel like it should be a bang bang. It should be movie theaters. Then like the next month, drop it off in HBO Max, and then a couple months after that, put it in DVDs, and then boom, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people make a lot of like belly aching about that 40 million number or whatever Garza said. But in like the grand scheme of things, like that's not a lot of money for Warner Brothers, and they could make that back easily. So
Yeah,
this is not like an ending thing. Like they they need to put a little money into it to at least distribute it. So
yeah,
we know that.
yeah.
And they'll make it back easily.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, they're at least going to make 100 million at least.
Oh yeah, and that's just with us fans that
Mhm.
get the word out instantly that first year. That's not counting the years after that we get it over and over. People just coming around and watching it.
I mean, I thought like I was a diehard DCEU fan, but talking to some of these guys and they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw BVS like 30 times in the movie theaters, and I got tickets for my friends and brought them." And then I was like, "Jesus Christ, like that's crazy!" Like I went like once or twice. Like I loved it. It's such a great movie, but I'm like, I don't know, when it comes to movie theaters, I really don't go that much. But if this when the Snyder Cut gets released, for sure I'd be there like 5 times.
Oh yeah,
at least. Like that would just. I mean, it's the Justice League, for crying out loud. Come on.
Right. They are sitting on like this $300 million movie that they overspent on, but they're still sitting on it, and it's just crazy that they won't release it. Of course, you got Birds of Prey coming out. What was it, February? People say every year that when a DC film comes out, we can't announce the Snyder Cut yet because we gotta wait for the DC film to come out. I'm like, well, that shit happens every year. So like they have to step on their toes eventually.
I know. I hate that. I hear that a lot too. Like, oh no, but that's when this is coming out. And I'm like, oh my god. Like,
who cares? Like, what I'm
saying? Yeah. And something else I was big on. It was like the movie being canon and everything. Oh, how's that going to work? It's going to ruin it. I'm like, I really don't think they care. To be honest with you, I don't think Warner Brothers care. They could, but I really don't think, because like you just see all these other movies and these like Marvel movies and X-Men, and like X-Men just didn't give a shit at all.
Yeah.
Like their movies were all over the place, and at the end of the day, the average movie going fan, they're not going to say anything. They're not going to be like, oh my god, well this didn't connect. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, well, I hope they just announce it. If they announce it tomorrow, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Like us fans are gonna lose our shit, and we might be the only ones that actually go crazy for it. I can't imagine people like John Campea suddenly changing their opinion on this Some
Oh,
people aren't going to
John.
be stuck in the mud about this, you know?
Oh my God. You know what? I can't. Well, you know what? He's kind of backtracking now. John Campea.
Yeah.
Because he did you see how he had a question today on his show or something? Because Zach came out. I don't know if you saw it on Vero, and he responded to someone saying that
The
his
VFX aren't 100% done.
100%.
Yeah.
But if you listen to what he said, he was saying that pretty much all of his movies are like that. Like he's always tweaking. All of his movies are not always 100% finished.
Yeah.
I guess that's that's just him saying that he always wants to mess with his movies every now and then or whatever. And Campea took that and ran with it. It was like, see, I told you guys, Yeah, I'm just like, dude, like it's done. Like you saw the canisters. Like why are you even like? And he doesn't say anything about it. And he's like, I hope we never have to talk about the Snyder Cut again. And then something like this comes out and it just makes him look good. And he's like all over it.
Yeah. As far as like the 100% thing goes, I mean, we knew back at the Snyder Con, like he told the comic movie marks that it wasn't like 100% done as far as like polished VFX and stuff. But at the end of the day, like it's good enough to watch. It's good enough to watch for Snyder, Momoa. Like, why can't we watch it too? I mean,
yeah,
that's always been my stance on it. Like,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'll see it if it's 90% done, whatever, 60% done. I just want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I think the movie is done. I don't know if WB gave him the money to finish it, or I mean, he has his own production company.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have put up his own money. I don't know, but I just think that he finished this movie.
Yeah. I do challenge people to go back and watch some other films because not every single film that you see in theaters is 100% like polished and done.
Yeah.
I think X-Men Apocalypse is like the biggest, movie for that. There's literally a shot in the movie where there's no VFX. like you can pause it on the frame and there's nothing there.
Oh, really?
But it goes by so fast you don't notice it. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a millisecond. But that shit's in films all the time. They just rush it out and get as much done as possible.
Yeah.
And most people don't even notice.
Well, I mean, they pretty much WB gave Joss Whedon like 6 months to direct the Justice League movie.
Yeah,
so
like $100 million.
yeah, there you go.
That's what cost the film so much more. Like that's what killed it, really.
You ever listen to Mick Minus? You ever see his videos?
I can't remember his name, but I probably did.
Yeah, he's a good dude. A lot of things he says on his videos about the Snyder Cut I agree with and everything. He always says how he doesn't blame Joss Whedon, and I'm like, I tried not to, but I have to because first off, he put that god awful shot to start the movie out with.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make any sense at all. Why is that even in the movie? His lip is completely fucked up. Why is that even shot? And there are so many scenes that he reshot that just don't make any sense at all. Like, why did you reshoot that? Like specifically, there's one where it's like Batman when he's like getting into what the hell's that thing called? The Nightcrawler, whatever what the fuck's it called? Yeah, he's getting in it and he says like one stupid line, like I forget what he says, but Zach has like the same thing in his movie, and then Joss Whedon did the same exact shot with Batman saying something else. I'm like, why? Why did you change that? Why did you waste his time, your time? Like that is so stupid.
Yeah, just so he get a one up on Zach.
Yeah, he literally changed the whole movie. He wanted every shot that Zach did, he redid. I'm like, dude, seriously? Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You really want? Oh God, like I'll never forgive that dude.
Yeah, he rewrote 80 pages or something like that of a script that's like 200 pages. So like that's half the movie. And it's ridiculous.
I don't know if you. I just saw this like maybe like an hour ago. You know the end credit scene in Justice League where Flash is racing Superman?
Yeah, I saw this. Zack responded to it.
So when I saw that, I was pretty sure that wasn't a Zack shot. I was pretty sure that was a Whedon shot. But if you watch some of the ways the Flash runs in the movie, it's really like wonky as shit. Like it just doesn't look right. Yeah. Like his arms are flailing and he just looks like he's ice. It just doesn't look right. And I was like, there's no way Zack has him running like that. And sure enough, it looks like Whedon had that, or did that shot of them two racing, whatever. That's when Zack did the question marks, like what? I always love when that shit happens. They're like, Zack, did you have the Russian family in your movie? He's like, what?
What Russian family?
Russian? Yeah. What are you talking?
What part?
And he knows all this shit too, because he's like, oh, I haven't seen the movie, but all of his buddies like told him all about it. He knows everything that happened.
Oh yeah, he's definitely having fun with it. That's for sure.
Yeah, what do they keep on saying that they hope that when the movie comes out, like Zack will do is like commentary on the Justice League?
Right? That would be great.
That
If
would be
he could do
gold.
a live stream on Twitch with that, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't because
Hey,
he's a nice dude.
we could have a chat like what's it called, super chats, and they could all go to charity. Why
there,
not? Come on, Zach, get on, get on.
there you go.
But yeah, I'm glad he keeps doing the charity stuff. Initially when he dropped that sweater, I was just like, all right, we're gonna get some more money out of the fans. Okay, okay, all right. I see what you're doing, Zach.
Yeah, I had no idea that he had the Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern logos on there. I was like,
Dude,
oh,
yeah.
okay, now I want the shirt. I didn't want it before, but now I want it.
Yeah, I just bought it, I think yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, I have like I think what 37 days left, so I'm gonna buy it. I've been building a crazy collection of these shirts anyway. So
Yeah, a little overpriced, but I'll get it. I get
yeah, if you're gonna say it's going towards charity, I'm all in. I'll do it.
but the lantern symbol and the Martian Manhunter symbol. I mean, does that confirm that Martian Manhunter is definitely in his cut? Like he had it done. Is that what he's trying to say?
I
That
think
kind of blew my mind when I saw
yeah,
the Martian Manhunter.
I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
I think with you having that symbol, it means that he was in the movie more than we thought.
And same thing with the Green Lantern symbol, because Justice League only has the one lantern, but maybe there's more to it.
Yeah, just I guess doing some research previously about this whole Green Lantern thing. They keep on thinking it's the one dude. Is it Sam Benjamin? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep on thinking it's him, and apparently there's like a scene in the Snyder Cut where it's like a 30-minute scene that he's involved in.
Yeah.
So that could be the scene where he gets to shine or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting because he posted a picture of himself in like the Air Force military outfit for Justice League, and
Yeah.
it has his name tag on it. It says Wilkerson. So I don't know if it's just like a placeholder thing, and they actually put Jordan on his outfit, but it doesn't seem
true.
like it is the Green Lantern we're thinking of, and he doesn't seem like a big enough actor for the role because Green Lantern would have to be its own franchise after Justice League, right? So.
Yeah, that's true.
It's tough. I don't know.
But I think Zack likes to do that though.
Yeah.
With a lot of his movies, he likes to introduce like these guys you've never heard of before. Like Ray Porter was playing Darkseid. Like I've never heard of Ray Porter.
Yeah, he's just a voice actor.
But yeah. So I mean, he likes to do that. I think that's really good for like secrecy too. I feel like if it was a bigger actor, we would have called on and be like, oh okay, it's clearly so and so.
That's a good point because I didn't even know. Nobody knew Sam Benjamin was even in the movie. Until a few months ago.
Yeah, but that dude's been teasing the hell out of him being Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So I feel like he has some.
Role. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, but someone had a crazy idea that like, what if like Ryan Reynolds was still Green Lantern? How do you feel about that?
I think that's they go way too far back there. I mean, we got to move on here.
So you're obviously a Green Lantern fan, right?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the movie to a certain extent. Not like like I had to re-edit just so I could watch it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like I love what they did.
Yeah.
But I do think Ryan Reynolds was fine as Hal Jordan. Like I think that's fine.
Okay.
But like we've gone too far now. Like we can't just like go back and bring him back. That would be ridiculous. And he's moving on and stuff. But that Green Lantern movie does have some connections to this universe because Amanda Waller's in that movie. The whole secret government thing that's in Suicide Squad. It does connect that way.
Okay.
But like, no, I'm not. No, we're not doing
it. Give me someone new.
Yeah, like we're moving on. Even though Mark Strong's Sinestro is incredible. Like I love that fucking Sinestro, but I mean, I just want a fucking another Green Lantern thing. Something.
Me wait too long. Are you excited for the HBO Max show?
I was until I heard Greg Berlanti's name.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And like, fuck.
Same here. Like I think I was cool with Berlanti because he does like a lot of shit with the CW, right?
Yeah.
I think I was like, well, I don't like those CW shows, but then I think he had something to do. Him and Jeff Johns had something to do with the Titans show on
which was
DC
good
Universe
until like the end.
Yes, exactly. It was like it started off really good, and I was like, okay. And I saw Berlanti was attached to it, and I was even giving praise to Jeff Johns. And then like the second season happened, and then I'm seeing like all the CW shit, and I'm just like, I don't know if I really like this Berlanti guy. And then just I just heard stuff about him and Jeff Johns just trying, like, they're the reason that Swamp Thing got canceled and everything. I'm like, no, I'm not having it.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if it's true, but I was like, I don't know. I thought Swamp Thing was a good show. I thought it was made really well, and that's what I enjoyed about it. But
yeah, the practical effects were great. Like, I mean,
oh yeah,
they did a great
yeah,
job. Yeah.
yeah. But and then apparently these guys were like, nope, doesn't fit into our CW universe or whatever.
CW-verse. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm like, oh God, please give me a break.
Dude, I haven't watched any of those CW shows in a few years. I mean,
Yeah.
I see clips. It just looks bad.
Oh my God,
Very low quality.
Yeah, I try. The only show that I actually watched was I watched a couple seasons of The Flash.
Yeah.
And then after like the second season, it was like every episode was literally the same thing, and I was just like, I'm not watching this anymore. Like Barry and Iris would fight in the beginning, and then he would save the day, and they would make up at the end, and it was like a new villain every episode, and I was just like, this is stupid.
It's a teen soap opera. That's what CW does. It's like half the shows are just that.
Yeah.
All those shows are that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Greg Berlanti, he was also executive producer on the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern film. So this guy loves Green Lantern.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So only good things are gonna come.
Well, I will say this, right? When HBO comes out with shows, like, they're usually pretty legit.
I know.
They come out with good stuff, and they don't come out with much, but when they do, it's usually pretty good. So Green Lantern on HBO, it could be good. We just have to wait and see.
And the rumored budget's like over $100 million too. So I mean, it's not gonna be cheap. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's true. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Zack Snyder will come back? You think he's coming back?
Man, I don't know. I love the idea.
Yeah.
But like at this point, I mean, it just feels like WB's moving on so much. Like Wonder Woman feels like its own thing, even though it's like still kind of connected. It feels like it's like a new universe type thing that they're doing. And Shazam's going forward. It doesn't look like they're gonna have Henry Cavill as Superman anymore. I don't know. I would love to see him come back and just do a sequel to Justice League and wrap it up in just one more movie, because I think he could. I think he's that good. I think he could do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, the Snyder Cut would have to sell like crazy. Like, it would have to make like $1 billion, like everybody wants it to make, right?
Yeah.
If that happened, then it's like a no-brainer. Yeah, you bring back Zack, and it's an easy decision. But like right now, Zack gets so much shit on every film. I think the last film he got universal praise on was like 300. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, it still makes some money, but it's
that's crazy to me. Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on the money the Snyder Cut makes. I think it's a done. But also with me saying that, I feel like they could possibly just get him back to finish his 5-movie arc.
Yeah.
And then or whatever, because the third movie would be his Justice League, and then do 2 more movies, and then just kind of like call that like the Snyder verse or whatever. And everything that went down there, and then just get rid of all that. Get rid of you can continue with your Aquaman and your Wonder Woman and all that, but just whatever. Get rid of the Ben Affleck Batman and get rid of your Henry Cavill Superman, and then do whatever the hell they want.
I mean, if anybody's holding back like the whole Zack coming back, it's probably Henry Cavill, because he's like the one that's wants a new Superman like trilogy of some kind. And if they actually do bring Zack back, he doesn't get any of that. So.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with that. That's what it sounds like, is that he wants control over or I guess a Man of Steel sequel, and Zack's like, no, I want to continue my Justice League 3 or whatever 2 and 3.
While they're arguing over that, WB's looking for a new Superman. Like they're looking for a new actor to play Superman, probably.
Yeah, I know. That sucks, man. I guess I at this point I should say I just can't wait to see the Snyder Cut, because it definitely is going to happen. But
yeah, I mean, we come a long way. Were you there like the day one when Justice League came out? Were you like, this is not just Zack Snyder's film when you walked out of that theater?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's my instant thoughts when I walked out of that.
Let me tell my story about that.
Yeah.
So I was hyped for it, hype as shit, and then obviously all the stuff happened with Zack, and I was like, okay, he left kind of at the end of production, so it's probably like legit like Zack Snyder's film. And
They just did a
And
couple reshoots, It's a
yeah.
film.
No big deal, no big deal. And I remember the one review that stuck out of my head before I even saw the movie came out was this guy said that this is definitely Zack Snyder's movie. Like he's written all over it. I'm like, okay, cool. That's what I was worried about. And I actually saw the movie like 2 weeks before it came out. I got like an early screening pass or something like that, some way, somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited, and I saw that review. I was like, okay, awesome. And I just watched it. And again, it didn't like sink in for a couple days. And then I was like, that wasn't Zach's movie. So
yeah.
that's just, and then you started, all this stuff started coming out. And then I was just like, okay, that's what I thought. Like this. Yeah. So
I kept going back to the brunch joke. I'm like, this doesn't feel like a Zach thing. Why would Zach make a joke about brunch here?
And I think for a little bit after that as well, I might have thought it was Zach's movie because I heard that how WB was trying to get him to go for like a lighter tone and I guess probably add more comedy to it. And Zach was like, oh, this is what this movie was always intended to be. And I was like, now you're like, yeah, bullshit. This movie was probably going to be his darkest movie yet.
Yeah.
From like what you're seeing. So I was like, oh, maybe Zach just tried some new stuff, and I'm like, no, that wasn't him. And then you see it pretty much Whedon reshot everything, and so it just got even worse. And I think Chris Wong said the same thing where he took the second I saw it in the movie theaters for a second time, and I brought my friends, and they're all like big Marvel fans, and they were loving it. They were like. And I was like, oh my God, finally a DC movie that they enjoy. And like the one kid came over to me, like my one buddy, and he was like, oh man, thank God for Whedon. He saved the DC universe. I'm like, oh yeah. And I was just cringing inside. Like, did he just say that? and they were just loving it. And they hate BVS. They hate Man of Steel. And I'm just like, and they love this Justice League movie. I was like, yeah, this isn't Zach's movie. Something's not right.
Something's not right. They're liking it. There's something up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, my friends are Marvel fans too. At least some of them. I got one that's a DC fan.
Oh man.
But yeah, most of them are Marvelites. I remember coming out of BVS and I was like blown away. The theatrical cut I thought was good too. Like I walked out of that and I loved that as well. Mm-hmm. And like I remember them, their first reactions were like, "That was shit." I'm like, "What? Did you watch the fucking same movie?" Like, I haven't seen them make anything like that on like the MCU side, right? It's something completely different, and just instantly, don't like it. I didn't understand.
Zach's movies are like a fine wine, if you want to say that, or like they age really well.
Yeah, they do.
And I haven't seen Sucker Punch. I need to watch that. I've been hearing a lot about that. Oh,
fucking great.
Is it good? Yeah, I need to check.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I watched 2 days ago was I watched the complete version of Watchmen. I've always just seen like the theatrical version of it, but I just watched like the 3.5 hour version of Watchmen. So
with the animated cut in.
Yeah, which I was like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. So I remember watching BVS and I didn't know what to think. I was just like, I've never seen like Batman kill like that before, and that was a big thing with my friends, like why they didn't like it. Like Batman doesn't kill, and I'm like. Okay. And then like I remember a couple days later and I was like, whatever I just saw was fucking epic. Like that was amazing. And then like I mean that movie is just incredible in my eyes.
And clearly, I mean, it's a great film because everybody still talks about it. Like we're just like 3 years, 4 years later, people still talk about that fucking movie, good or bad. You're still talking about it. Who the fuck talks about, Captain Marvel, or fucking Captain America, First Avenger? Nobody talks about those movies. God.
Did you see Captain Marvel?
Oh yeah. That's
oh my God, that is the worst comic book movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude. And people were like, "Oh, it's great. It's the best female-led superhero movie." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, that was actually surprising because that was the first movie where my Marvel friends were like, that was bad.
Yeah.
And then you find out it made all this money, and I'm just like, it seems a little fishy because even our movie theater was not that crowded, and we were there for opening night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
there's major rumors that Disney inflated the numbers with that movie, which is pretty hard to believe, but I could see it happening. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think something that really helped that movie as well is the placement. You placed it right before Endgame. I mean, of course that movie was going to make a shit ton of money.
Oh yeah.
Because everyone was like, "Oh, I have to see this before Endgame,"
Which
And
you
it's like,
didn't need to at all.
yeah, you didn't have to, and that was the best part.
Yeah.
It's like, really, like I didn't have to see this at all. Fucking stupid. I wasted my time for
Never
this
have to
shit.
see it again. Never have to see it.
Yeah, like that was like the worst acting I've ever seen. But anyway,
Horrible MCU films.
oh god, yeah,
and one DC film people keep talking about,
exactly, and they will continue to talk about it because it's and this is the best part about this year. It seems like everyone forgot that Endgame came out in 2019.
Right? It felt like it came out like 2017. It felt like
Yeah,
it's a long
it's
time
already
ago.
it's already forgotten.
Yeah.
It's already forgotten, and the movie that's on everyone's mind is Joker, and that's the best thing.
Yeah, Joker
Like
was great.
it's
Yeah.
oh yeah, I love that. And then like I think I saw this the other day where Todd Phillips came out and was saying how like Walter Hamada was like not on board with this project or whatever, and he was just like whatever, go. And you can clearly see that because they only gave him half the money. They gave him it was a $50 million budget, and they gave him I guess $25 million to make the movie because they weren't confident in it.
Yeah.
And then it makes $1 billion. Like that's just is like the cherry on top. Like how like WB, how dumb are you?
Right? It's like you have a good thing going. Like if people are divisive on the movie, that means a lot of people are talking about it. And a lot of people are seeing it over and over, right?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to decide how they feel about it. It makes the film last longer. Like that's why these Marvel films don't last long because you go in, you watch it, and an hour later you already forgot about it, and you're on to the next Marvel film, and that's how they keep the perpetual cycle of these films going.
Yeah.
But you get Zack Snyder over here making one DC film, and we're all talking about it, even though it hasn't even been released.
Yep.
And we're talking about film that no one's seen yet. And
Yep.
we're talking about more than any Marvel film. It's nuts.
And what was that? I think on the 17th of November, that was like around the day that I guess the Mandalorian came out, and then
Yeah.
maybe was it the trailer for Black Widow or something? I think so. And
everything got overshadowed.
yeah. And the Snyder Cut was just trending, just like it was just crushing, those trends for the Mandalorian and Black Widow and everything. I'm just like, there it is, just free marketing, just just money sitting on your table that you're just gonna let go to waste.
And these studios pay huge money to see shit go viral. Like this is what they're trying to do with like all their movies, to get them to go viral, so that way when they come out they open huge. But it doesn't happen with every film. It doesn't even happen with like 10% of films. It's like it only happens with like one film a year.
Yeah.
And they have it sitting in their lap. People are interested. They can get interested real quick.
Yeah.
They're just wasting it.
I think that's why this movie, the Snyder Cut, has potential to make $1 billion is because of how much it has in it.
Yeah.
When you left the Justice League, the Joss Whedon version, when you left the movie theater, like what were you talking about? Like, okay, pretty much everything we thought was going to happen happened. That was in the movie. Like, yeah, the resurrection of Superman was pretty cool, but there was like a little snippet of Green Lantern in the beginning. I don't know which one that is. Yeah, and it was like, so yeah, that was like the major surprises. But then you find out like leaving the Snyder Cut, like, oh yeah, Green Lantern was in it, Martian Manhunter, Dark Side, Desaad, like Volko, like Iris West. So many more scenes of this. It's 3.5 hours. Like what? Like fucking Dark Side? Are you kidding me? Like
Willem Dafoe.
Willem. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I can't freaking wait. It's just always on my mind.
Yeah, I mean, if they do a theatrical release and like it did take off, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I would love for that to happen, but
I think it's going to, and there's going to be a lot of people going back to see it. A lot of people.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it made $1 billion, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
That would be really crazy.
Earth-shattering. Like, you know what I'm saying? The internet would burn down. Like
if that happens, Joss Whedon should just go hide in the corner and never show his face again. I mean, it's kind of like what he did, but.
I'm surprised, like, he hasn't, like, said release a Snyder Cut or anything. I guess he really doesn't like Zack Snyder. Like, he doesn't want to see his version released. I'm surprised. Because you'd think he would. He's a fellow director. You'd think he'd want to see another director's film come out that he butchered, like, just to give himself some goodwill,
Yeah, I know. He hasn't said a word. He should be coming out and be like, Warner Brothers made me do it. I swear I didn't want to. They made me change everything. I said I was good. They were like, no, do it.
And then they'll never make another film with him.
Yeah, it's fun. Did you see the HBO Max thing that they had? I think in October, where they were talking to all the trades or whatever. I think it
Oh
was like a
yeah, the
live
live
stream.
stream. God, so fucking
Did,
boring. It was so
oh yeah,
fucking boring.
it was the worst. But if I don't know if you saw this or not, but they were going over like movies that were going to be for the streaming service
Yeah.
that were coming out, and they had one movie that was directed by Joss Whedon, and they said his name. I was like, oh god, he's still directing, Jesus. Yeah, but that was a god. I didn't think anything was going to happen, but you just never know.
Right. They did show the DC films, so those will be on that streaming service, which kind of makes me think they're not going to continue with the DC universe thing. It's just going to like absolve into the HBO Max thing, right?
Yeah, I think so as well. It's probably going to be like they're going to have the DC universe in the streaming service, but it's just going to like I guess eventually fade away probably.
Yeah, because I ain't buying like both. You know what I'm saying? Like one or the other. I'm like,
Yeah. I think I actually stopped paying for the DC universe because the only thing they have going right now is the Harley Quinn thing.
yeah, and
So.
I probably won't even get HBO Max unless the Snyder Cut's there. Like, there's
Oh yeah,
like, no reason
no,
for me to
no
get it.
doubt, no doubt, and that's something that I'm not really in favor of boycotting stuff, but that's the next stage in my opinion.
Yeah,
Is if you want to say it's not, or we don't hear anything in the spring that it's coming out, then it's like okay, well I'm not getting HBO Max. That's simple. We're going to try to hit you in your pockets.
yeah,
I mean, that is the next step because there's nothing else we can do. We've given all this money away to charity. We've trended. We've sent you letters and letters and letters. We've done the banner flyover how many freaking times?
yeah,
Like you know that we're here. So
yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
And no other movie gets this attention. Like, they have no other movie in their catalog that's getting this kind of attention right now.
And that's the best part. That's the
Yeah.
best part is they're trying to hype up Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman. It's like, oh, the Snyder Cut's getting more attention than these movies.
Yeah, man.
So what should you do? You should release it because it's your movie.
Yeah. I don't understand what the dilemma is, really. I mean, like, it's like they
Yeah,
don't like money.
I don't think. I know it's easy to talk about them, make fun of them, but I don't think there is a dilemma. I think it's on the table that they're going to release it. I just like I said, I think that they're just in favor of because they don't want to spend any money on marketing. They're just like, let's just hype it up, and then we'll say it's coming out whatever in the springtime or something until that's what I truly believe. But like I said, if it doesn't happen in the spring, then I'm not paying for HBO Max.
Yeah. And there's something funny me and the Marks were talking about. We're talking about how Zack Snyder has been planning this out for 2 years. like he's had this since the beginning. Like, that's why he was taking behind the set photos during Justice League's run because he knew he was going to get kicked off.
Yeah,
So he wanted to create like a trail of breadcrumbs. He wanted to lead everybody back.
Yeah.
And
He's
show
like,
that, oh yeah, this is what the film looked like before I left.
I'm getting ready.
Yeah.
They're about to kick my ass out.
Right. Literally, I don't see other reasons why he would put behind the scenes photos up. Like, he didn't really do that with Batman vs Superman. He didn't really do that with Man of Steel, but with, like, Justice League, there was a bunch like before he left. And when you go back and look at that stuff, it's all Snyder Cut stuff. It's all stuff that's not in the film at the end. So, I mean, it is pretty wild to think that Zack Snyder would be that clever that he would like tease us for 2 years about this to build hype until inevitably he showed Warner Brothers that there was this huge fan support. I can't imagine that he would do that, but he might have.
He's a smart man, and
no doubt.
I think that he knew that he was getting the boot. I don't know how exactly it went down. Obviously, they tried to make it look like his daughter committing suicide had something to do with it, and
which I'm sure, he was stressed about.
I mean, it had to weigh on him, But I feel like he knew this was going to happen, so he was taking those pictures and getting ready and everything, and then he started. The movie came out and it was a failure, and he started putting all these pictures out, and then he's like, "Hey, WB, you want to talk now?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh shit, we fucked up."
Yeah, especially when they see that a couple 100,000 fans are making this shit go viral, getting millions of people to see it.
Yep.
Like, it's just so easy to put it out. This is not hard for WB to do. Obviously, like, this is just well within their boundaries. They could do this.
Yeah. And you see all like the international accounts and everything for WB always posting stuff and always like tempting the fans and everything. And I think again that's all set up. They don't want to. They want their international and other accounts to say stuff and to get again to build hype, just so they don't have to say it yet.
Yeah, that and or they're going rogue. Like they're going, and they have no control over their goddamn company.
That's true. That's true. They're calling up HBO Asia and they're like, "Stop it!
Why'd you do that?
Stop posting shit." I like to make fun of them. Are you gonna go to SnyderCon 2 if they have it?
If they have it, sure. I mean, I don't know if they will. I hope
because you didn't go last year, did you?
No, I should have though, because that might be the only time they ever fucking do that. So
I know. Well. I'm really hoping they do a number 2.
Yeah.
And if they do, I already told my wife that we're going.
Yeah.
So, but I think, and I was talking to one of my subscribers about this, and it's a really good idea. It is to build up, I guess, to build up the momentum and the good word of the movie is you should release it to the SnyderCon peeps first.
Yeah.
Like do an early screening and be like, okay, have your SnyderCon, and you can show them the Snyder Cut, and then all the diehards are going to be there. And they're all going to come out raving about it, just saying how great it is. It's best movie ever, blah. And it's just going to be so positive to begin with, and and then we'll release it in whatever the movie theaters or HBO Max, whatever they want to do.
Almost like a test screening.
Yeah, exactly. Like everyone's going to come out raving about it, and then of course, as soon as the critics get a hold of it, it's going to be the worst thing they've ever seen. But
yeah. Yeah, I can't help but feel like that's how it's going to go down, right? It's going to come out. Everybody that's already hated Zack Snyder and his movies are just going to shit on it even more. They're not going to give any cred. Even though it's a fucking achievement, like the way you're going to balance all these fucking Justice League characters in a 3-hour movie, this is a fucking achievement that no other film can do right now. But we're going to shit on Zack Snyder for it.
Oh, I know. They have their agendas, and that's just what it's become. You see these like Film Gob, you see these people who review Marvel movies, and they're just like, it's the greatest thing they've ever seen, and then you see a picture of them with Stan Lee at some convention.
Yeah.
and then they do like a DC movie, and it's like the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, they were shitting on Aquaman and praising Captain Marvel or Ant-Man or something. Wait,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, other than Justice League, what are the other DC movies that you were liking?
The DCEU movies or DC movies?
DC movies in general that have been released since Justice League.
Oh, that's been yeah. I liked Aquaman.
Yeah, I liked it too. I don't know why people hate it.
I liked it because it's like the visuals are crazy. Like the whole underwater thing, I really like it because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like the I guess the acting or whatever, the writing, if you will, it's not the greatest, but I enjoy it. It's a fun movie. Shazam, for a while, I've been trying to tell everyone that it was pretty good, but I think I've come to the conclusion that I'm not really a big fan of it.
Yeah, me too.
It's real. I've been trying to stick up for it because I'm just such a diehard DC guy, but it's a kid movie.
Yeah.
It's like a Marvel movie, and it's not to say that it's bad. It's not bad. It's just not like I saw it once and I'm good. I won't watch it again.
Exactly. That's how I saw it once too. I haven't seen it since.
And I think the problem with that movie was that Sandberg, the director, he wasn't given enough money. Mm-hmm. And the thing with me is I like visuals. I'm really big on visuals. That's why I love Zack Snyder. Mm-hmm. And there was there was nothing really to look at in that movie. Like the visuals, like it's he flew a couple times and that was it. It wasn't like anything crazy.
Yeah, it was very sterile. Like it was just like they just come off the factory line of some like toy store or something like that.
Yeah,
and all exactly. Action figures like hitting each other.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, if you give this guy some more money, I was like, he could probably do something. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give Shazam 2 another chance to really see if they give him more money to see what he can do. But I don't know if they're going to give him more money because it didn't really make that much money.
Right? Yeah, it barely broke even. Like it could have flopped.
Yeah, yeah. I think it broke even, and then after that, it's just Joker, right? Is that the?
Yeah, I think Joker.
Aquaman. Joker was just. I mean, it was like a masterpiece in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it reminded me of what Zack Snyder was trying to do. It worked.
They're trying. They were trying so hard to get away from this dark tone, and now it's like, oh, now we're all about the dark tone again. I mean, yeah, because people come to DC for different shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they come. they come to DC to really, I guess to think, if you will, to really like dive deep into these movies. A Marvel movie is just popcorn, just fun, and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
They want this like mature shit. Marvel can do their movies for kids. That's fine. But DC needs to be different. They need to be more of a darker tone in my eyes.
For sure. I mean, because if people want to go watch a Marvel film, they'll go watch the next 5 Marvel films that come out next year. It's not. There's no reason for DC to do the same fucking shit. I think Joker was probably the best one.
Out of those 3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, it's kind of gives you like Joker's like masterpiece. Like Aquaman was probably like a 7.5, and then Shazam was like 5.8. I don't know.
I noticed that when he released some of these pictures he's already released, like the Cyborg one that says "You, my Lord." I've seen that one before. And I've seen the Bruce Wayne one. Have you found the secret I've lost? He's released those before.
Doesn't he look like George Clooney in that picture?
A little bit.
every time they put up that picture, and I'm not zoomed in yet. I'm like, is that George Clooney? And then it's kind of funny because he played Batman too. I forgot that.
He's got that strong jaw. That's how yeah.
But no, the picture of Superman coming out of the ship too.
Yeah,
it says like drink the chalice or whatever. Yeah, he's used that before too.
So that's definitely a Zack Snyder scene, that bonus scene that came with that Justice League.
Now that I could tell was his scene.
Yeah.
It had the music. It had the Hans Zimmer, whatever, Junkie XL music.
Yeah.
And I could just tell from the tone that it was his scene.
And that was crazy that Junkie XL confirmed that he finished it. Like, he finished his score. Like, that was the craziest news I've heard about the Snyder Cut, like, before November 17th, right? Like, was that. Because we didn't know that at all. I mean, you had Garza that said, like, he heard that it was complete, but there's nothing official, right?
Yeah.
But it's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said he finished that, like, really early on into, I guess, the making of the movie.
Yeah. And I remember when Danny Elfman took over, and people were telling me, "Oh, don't worry." Like, this is the exact time to panic.
Why did they get? Oh my God! Why did you like? At least give me a good score, and you get Elfman to do the score.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I'll never forget that. I'll never forget the scene. I think it was the first time I heard his score in the movie was the Wonder Woman scene where the bank robbers or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think like the guy's walking up the steps, and the music was just so bad. It was so like cartoonish. I'm like, what is this?
Down people.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? And I'm just like, that's when I was like, this score sucks.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, like that. Yeah, that was another thing. Like, okay, Joss Whedon completely ruined the movie, but give me a good score. No, Danny Elfman's coming in to do the score. Cool. This is great. You guys, wow. Thumbs up to you.
Fucked up because Junkie XL is such a great composer right now. He's like the best moment in his career, his prime right now. And you're not going to use it. I can't imagine what it sounded like. Well, like it's probably sound like BBS, but I just can't imagine what that Justice League thing was. It was probably
he probably had the same themes for Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and then he just came up with his own.
Cyborgs.
Yeah. Well, did you hear? And it's probably Darkseid's theme song. Did you hear the little like tidbit he came out with? I think on November 17th.
Oh yeah. But he said it wasn't for Justice League. So I don't know.
He lied. He lied. Did you hear that shit? That was that was in the Justice League.
Oh yeah.
that sounded so good. Yeah, and all I could think about was like the nightmare scene or Darkseid. I was like, this has got to be it. And then he's like, oh no, this is from my brass library. Like, yeah, bullshit. You're such a liar. Like, yeah, you can make those sounds in your brass library or whatever.
Yeah, I bet it was something very similar to what he had, probably, or the exact track.
He knew what he was doing because as soon as he dropped that was the time that we were all going to start tweeting.
Yeah.
And then he's doing the eyes like tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, we know what you're doing, dude.
That'd be funny if like he had no idea, and like he thought everybody would be hyped for his new music. They're like, oh, fuck, wrong day, man.
Yeah, like these people, they need to realize, and that's so funny. I feel whenever like a WB account like says something, everyone comments like, "Release the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut." And then Junkie XL puts that out, and it's like, "Release the Snyder Cut." He's like, "God damn, like I can't post anything."
Yeah, it's probably like the only questions he gets. What's the Snyder music?
Did you see like the video that he was doing the live stream?
No, I
Where,
didn't see it.
where
Were people asking?
someone posted, it was a little snippet. It was like 30 seconds, and it was a live stream. And someone asked him a question, something about the Snyder Cut score, or no, it was like, what was it like working with Zack Snyder on Justice League? And he just throws his hands up, and he's like, "That's my answer to that." He goes, "Next question."
He's not allowed to talk about it.
I don't know. And then he was like, and then he said like, "Don't ask any more questions about the Snyder Cut," or something like that.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Maybe he's just trying to not ruin any chances of it getting released or something.
No, I think it's a good thing. I
Yeah.
mean, I think he's proud of it. He's pissed that it didn't get released. I mean, think about it coming from that guy as well.
Yeah.
Is there like, he's like, okay, well, they're taking Zach off the project and to put in a new director, but I mean, my score should still be good. They're like, oh no, we're bringing in another guy to redo the score. Like what? Like it's already done. Like why? So that it's had to have pissed him off too.
So what's the main scene in the Snyder Cut that you're looking forward to the most?
The main scene. Probably seeing Darkseid. No, I'll say the history lesson. Let's say that.
Because Darkseid's in it.
Yeah, because Darkseid's in it. And then I would probably say like that scene, and then like definitely like the ending.
Mm.
I want to see how that all goes down, because obviously it's going to be epic.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's going to be a cliffhanger. And that's another thing I'm thinking. Like that's probably what's hard to get a release. It's because it leads into another film.
I think it will be a cliffhanger. I think it's going to end with, you've probably heard with them seeing, I guess, Darkseid through the boom tube, and then that's just going to probably be it.
Yeah.
Or no, it'll probably be them like in the sunshine or whatever again in the back, all standing there all together. I don't know.
Yeah, the sun rise, because we're rising out of the darkness, because that makes way more sense than what the fuck.
No more dark tone movies.
Yeah.
Where the what was that called? The Friends, the Justice League Friends, or something. What was that called? I never saw it years ago.
Super Friends.
The Super Friends. Yeah, they're the Super Friends now.
That Amy Adams line at the end of the actual Joss Whedon movie, there's no way it's Zack Snyder's words. I like, she's like, it sounded like a WB line that they wrote to usher in these new DC films like Shazam and stuff.
Yeah, that whole ending scene, that couldn't have been Zack either. And a lot of people have been saying that scene where Superman opens up his chest and he flies away, that's a Zack scene, because they can see that Zack is like on the side or something like that.
Yeah, he's been
like
behind the scenes.
I think that shot's redone from Whedon. And if you watch how he flies off at the end, that Zack doesn't have Superman flying like that. It's something I've noticed. He kind of like goes off at an angle, and it just doesn't. It's not how Zack would have filmed that.
Yeah, I don't think that. There's no way that was the last shot of Zack's film. It wasn't the last shot. There's no way.
yeah. I think all that was. But I think I've read stuff somewhere, like leaks. Like I think there's this one guy on YouTube that he put out like leaks or whatever he thinks how the movie was supposed to go and everything, and things that he heard, and like the ending was like. It was kind of similar to that, but they all were doing different stuff. Like it showed all the characters. Like for instance, like Aquaman. Instead of him just swimming in the water at the end, that was the scene where he's like talking to Volko and he said he's going to see his dad. Like that was his last scene. That's and then awesome. it was like a different Cyborg was doing something else, and then the Flash was doing something else, and then Superman might have been flying off. I don't know, but it was completely different. This movie it's not even close to what we saw.
Exactly. I think Cyborg's probably the main thing I want to see the most of, because I knew we were going to get his origin. That's what I was hyped about going into the fucking film, right? I'm like, Justice League, Zack Snyder said he's the heart of the film. We're going to see him die. Like, we're going to see him get blown up, like something's going to happen. And dude, just to know his mom was in the film and he was going to get in an accident and they actually filmed it, it just blows my mind that they would even cut that. And, now looking back, WB's mandate, everything, that probably would have made the film R-rated to see that happen. The violence. And when the stunt team released that video clip of them putting spears through people's necks, that's another thing. That would have made the film rated. So there's no doubt that his cuts are rated.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what probably scared WB off.
No doubt.
I think at the end of the day. Yeah.
They were like, WB was like, make it 2 hours. Don't show Darkseid. Take
No
out Green
blood.
Lantern. Take out Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
Take out Volko. Pretty much take out everyone except the League. Make it 2 hours. Make it PG.
And the Terror's like, why don't we use some of my pages?
This is gonna sell like hotcakes. It's gonna be great. And they're like, oh, it only made $600 million. What happened?
Right.
No one went back to the movie theaters. That's what happened.
Yeah. My God, it's just such a missed opportunity. Hopefully we get soon. I'm thinking within the next 6 months. If we need to hear something within this time window that we have here of nothing else really that important coming out besides Birds of Prey.
I think that we have one. I think it's pretty obvious because if you've been seeing Zach's post and everything and talking about being reborn and everything, and he's at that point where he said Superman's been reborn. He has risen, so it's like I think that we've won. Now it's just a matter of time before we get the announcement.
Might be waiting for New Year's, like you said earlier, because that's a big time.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that if we don't get it Wednesday, then it's going to be a couple months, and then they're going to spring it on us. And if they don't, then this movement's going to have to change because being nice and it just didn't work for us.
Right? We got to go get it more viral. We got to keep it trending and like that. But I think most people haven't seen what the trends have been, or like what the Google trends have been since November 17th. It's gone back to what it was before November 17th. So we need to have 4 days where it just goes viral like crazy.
Yeah.
And make it just undeniable. Like you have to release it or else the studio is going to burn down.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, I feel like they're in that position now. I feel like they're getting so backed into a corner and it's just getting worse and worse, with the subway thing now. And it's crazy. Like literally the billboards and it's just like everyone's talking about it. All these actors are coming out and saying release the Snyder Cut. It's like, man, we got to do something here.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Snyder Cut announcement sometime soon.
I'm hoping very soon.
Yeah, man, we were talking for an hour here.
Okay.
Is there anything else you got to get off your chest before we wrap up here?
No, I had some talking points and we nailed all of them. So I think we're. The only thing I didn't talk about was if you've seen Star Wars, but I don't give two shits about Star Wars, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was not a fan. I was not a fan.
I was just curious because I'm not like I see that everyone's talking about Star Wars nonstop, and I'm not really a big fan, so I was curious if you were.
Yeah, I made a video about it and everything, so the dedicated fans have seen it already.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks everybody for joining us.
All right.
And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
All right, see you.